My name is Chris Richter, and I'm the Technical Support Manager at R&D Technologies. Today I'll be discussing the troubleshooting steps you can take to resolve communication issues when using your Stratasys Objet Desktop 3D printer. When you start a print job, it's a good idea to check how many slices were sent to the printer. 4 slices should be sent initially, and what that means is you have communication with the printer, but the printer is still offline. You want to verify the printer has been turned online by toggling over to the printer control software display and press the red button in the middle of the program, and it will then turn green. At that point, the printer will begin its pre-printing processes such as heating the heads. You'll want to then go over to the job manager and verify that you see 8 slices sent to the printer. That's the proper number of buffer slices that are sent to trigger the pre-printing processes. If you open Objet Studio and you receive a message from the job manager indicating Objet Studio is in offline mode, there's a chance the IP address is no longer entered into the job manager. This could happen if you reinstalled Objet Studio. Click Yes for this message, and you'll see a printer connection window appear. Rather than clicking the Browse button, it's best if you just enter the IP address of the printer. Normally we set the printer to 10.10.20.2. So enter that and click OK, and that should resolve the connection between Objet Studio, the job manager, and your printer. If you started a print and only 0 or 1 slice was sent to the printer, this generally indicates a communication issue between the host computer running Objet Studio and the printer computer. The first thing to check would be to make sure the crossover cable that connects these two is still plugged in. Maybe someone accidentally bumped into the cable and it became dislodged, so it's a good idea to unplug and plug back in the cable on the back of the printer and on the back of the host computer. Occasionally these cables can become damaged if when moving the printer you accidentally run over that cable by one of the wheels on the printer stand. So if you have another crossover cable that you can use for testing, give that a try. And you want to make sure you are using a crossover cable and not a standard network cable. That will help eliminate communication issues. It's possible the IP address of the printer and the host have been changed, so you want to make sure those are set correctly. The host IP that we would normally set up would be 10.10.20.1. We would then set the default gateway on the host computer to 10.10.20.2. The printer IP address that we would set during our installation would be 10.10.20.2, while the default gateway on the printer would be 10.10.20.1. As far as the subnet mask is concerned, on both machines we set this to 255.255.255.0. Here's an example of how this would look on the host computer on the left-hand side and on the internal printer computer on the right-hand side. Notice how the IP address of the host computer is listed as the default gateway for the internal printer computer, and the IP address of the printer computer is listed as the default gateway for the host computer. This is how these machines need to be configured in order for proper communication to occur between Objet Studio and the printer computer. If you verify the IP address of your printer and the host are set correctly, and you want to make sure the job manager is also set correctly, you can click the Job Manager tab when you open up Objet Studio and then click the Connect button. When this window opens, select your printer type from the list and click the Connect button. This will open up the printer connection window like we saw before, and again, don't click the Browse button. You want to enter the IP address of the printer here and then click OK. If you're still having trouble connecting to the printer, make sure the Windows firewall is turned off. It's possible Windows detected it had been turned off, and maybe someone could have turned it back on after logging into the host computer. If you have verified the IP addresses are set correctly and the firewall is off, but you're still having trouble connecting, try rebooting the printer and the host computer before contacting your Stratasys dealer. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And if there's any other content you would like to see us present, feel free to let us know. Thank you.